I am Rev, the great and powerful. Because The Wizard of Oz is a timeless classic and it's been referenced lots of times in almost a century, Matt Harry Patrick had a hard decision what kind of Oz sketch he would do at the beginning of this video. So here are the nominees. We tried to tie into the first Oz, but there are questions and flaws, and no sense of justice. You made the characters no longer charming, and your scenes are quite alarming if you only had substance. Let's see. I should never make that left turn at Wander back at the Tulgey Woods. Let's see here. Beware, you are entering the franchise forest. I turn back if I were you. The franchise forest? Then that means there might be sequels and prequels and spin-offs. 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 Boo. Ah!
I'll get you, my pretty, and your silly little hat, too.
I wonder if I can use this for my Oz sketch. What the?
Give me your magic hat so I can rule Oz.
I don't think so. Take a look at this!
So beautiful. I'm melting!
Works every time. Now that's a decision that's hard to steer than the Wizard's hot air balloon. And now, onward to the review! Greetings, Dorothys and Scarecrows. This is Mad Hair Patrick. I love a good fantasy movie like Alice in Wonderland, The Neverending Story, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, The Princess Bride, and every Studio Ghibli movie minus Earwig. But arguably the most recognizable fantasy story that practically everyone on Earth has heard or seen is The Wizard of Oz. I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with the timeless story The Wizard of Oz, whether it be the books by Frank Baum, the movie, or any other adaptations like the musicals or cartoon spoofs. There's a good chance you may have seen The Wizard of Oz in any form of media. While I'm more of a Wonderland person for its weirdness and crazy imagination, Oz is also an amazing fantasy place to explore and adapt. While the 1939 Wizard of Oz movie is one of the best fantasy movies of all time, there have been some other studios that tried to recreate the original novel or adapt the other book sequels. But let me tell you, I got an Oz movie that's a total twister both in and out. Released in 2014 by the already defunct Summertime Entertainment, Legends of Oz was loosely based on the 1989 Oz book Dorothy of Oz, and the producers of the movie, Roland and Ryan Carroll, tried to turn into an animated franchise with 2 sequels, video games, and a TV show. But there was something sus about the Carroll brothers and their finances. Back in 1993, there were some questionable fundraising activities and they were accused for selling unregistered securities, scamming 1,800 different investors in order to finance the movie, and breaking other financial laws in 6 states of the United States. It resulted in the movie and the future of the franchise becoming hopeless and dead. The film became a box office bomb, losing $100 million in the process, and ended up receiving $21.7 million worldwide against a $70 million budget. And it was also known to receive a Razzie Award for Worst Supporting Actor with Kelsey Grammer as the Tin Man, making it the first time since Don Bluth's Thumbelina in 1995 that an animated film received a Razzie. So yeah, Mary the Mole's got nothing on this one. Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. Let's follow the yellow brick road because I can guarantee we're not in any normal place anymore. This is Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return. It starts out with Dorothy's friends, the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion, are trying to contact Dorothy, played by Lea Michele, for help. They use this rainbow contraption to alter time in her world to make it feel like a day has passed since her last visit. And no, there is no point to have time as a plot element in the movie. It never comes into play again. Anyways, Dorothy gets sent back to Oz through a magic rainbow, and her friends call her for help to defeat an evil jester played by Martin Short, save the land of Oz, and come across some new colorful characters. Okay, so what kind of Oz movie are we looking at? Well, a very questionable one because this is supposed to be a sequel to The Wizard of Oz. But the problem with this sequel is that it's very inconsistent as a standalone Oz sequel. Despite the tie-in to Dorothy's last adventure reminding the audience that she killed the Wicked Witch of the West, there are no other plot elements from the first Oz adventure that they never reference, like the ruby slippers, silver they're going by the book, the wizard himself, and the full aftermath of Dorothy's friends taking over Emerald City. But then I noticed something that's completely obvious and unoriginal. The movie's trying to recreate the scenes from the actual 1939 movie. If you watch through the whole film, you'll notice that Dorothy's going through the same structure and arc as her last adventure. There's a rotten character that's trying to take something so dearly to Dorothy. She gets sent back to Oz with the power of Mother Nature. She follows the yellow brick road to Emerald City while making 3 new friends on her journey. There's an intimidating head figure at Emerald City, and Dorothy has to go to the villain's lair to defeat them and save the land of Oz. It's like if the makers of this movie took a look at the 1939 film and changed the parts around to make it look like it's their own movie. Okay, so what? What about the fantasy genre? Surely there gotta be something magical in Oz, right? True, but the tone is just all over the place. It doesn't know if it wants to be a whimsical imaginative adventure or a dark fantasy film. Even with stuff like candy people, China dolls, and creepy marionettes, they don't explore them that much from their respective lands, and Dorothy's home is inconsistent. Back in Kansas, it's now located in an urban town with trucks and cars, which is not accurate in the Oz books or the original movie. And there's a pointless side plot that doesn't connect to anything, that her home is being taken away because of the twister damage, yet her whole family and those other workers can still fix it in just a few days. The movie is so focused on having Dorothy to save Oz, it makes it extremely predictable with barely any character growth or lesson. They keep forcing the old savior and chosen one cliché since everyone is so dependent on having Dorothy to save the land of Oz. What do they think she's gonna do, drop a house on the jester by accident? It doesn't help either that none of the Oz characters are funny or interesting. Although some familiar Oz characters have returned, they're not the same familiar and likable characters everyone remembers from the original classic. They only serve one purpose with no personality or specific goal to achieve. They don't even flesh out Dorothy's friends after they receive their gifts. Dorothy is the protagonist that wants to save her home and friends from the evil jester/appraiser aided by her dog Toto. Other than that, she has less personality than the Twister that sent her to Oz, and Toto does almost absolutely nothing on the journey. As for her old friends, they really don't do anything but to present their one trait and get captured. These include the Scarecrow being a genius where his plans backfire, the Tin Man is emotional basket case where he spreads out unnecessary emotions, and the now courageous Lion is all brawn than brains. Glinda the Good Witch does return, only to get captured off-screen and now become scary as her evil sister as a lifeless puppet. There are also the new characters that join Dorothy, but they're only there to take over her old friends and not give any of them a specific dream goal to achieve. Weiser is the annoying owl that talks a lot and tries to finish sentences incorrectly. Marshall Mel is the authority figure that follows orders, who falls in love with the China princess, who is just a spoiled brat that cares about her looks and not get fractured. The only Oz character that may not be that bad is the Jester. He has an intriguing backstory that he's the Wicked Witch's brother who's been cursed to always be the fool. However, he's still not a good character because he's trying to be the Wicked Witch by taking over Oz, complete with a lookalike shady landlord at the beginning of the movie who wants to condemn Dorothy's home for money. If there is something I want to see in an Oz movie, it's gotta be the visuals, and I will admit some creativity has been put into this. Starting with the designs, all the characters do look like they are from the Oz universe. Some of the backgrounds do have a sense of magic and imagination, like Candy Country, the China Kingdom, and the Jester's Lair. And many of the special effects with the fireflies and the Jester's magic spells do look pretty nice. However, the animation still has some issues as the movie itself. The biggest reason with that would lie with the quality of the film. You can tell it shares the same value as a direct-to-DVD movie, and that's because the animation was made by Piranha Studios, who did some works in the Tinkerbell movies, which ended up making the character animation limited and have a feeling of a TV special than a cinematic movie. It also has no attention to details. There's no textures on some Oz characters regarding their looks, no straw on the Scarecrow, the Tin Man doesn't look like he's made of tin, and there's not much animal fur or feathers like the lion and Weiser the owl. Another element in the animation that's out of place is some of the creepy moments. Yes, The Wizard of Oz was a bit creepy, specifically on the Wicked Witch, and I know there was a dark Oz movie with Return to Oz, but the thing is, the Wicked Witch is supposed to be scary because she's evil, and Dorothy has to conquer her fears. And the tone in Return to Oz was well executed and consistent in the same Oz universe. Here though, there are some disturbing imageries that felt unnecessary, like Candy-Eyed Dorothy and the Jester's marionettes, including... The stories were true! Quick! Destroy it with fire! Or water! Or a house! Oh, I almost forgot, this movie is also a part musical, and guess what? I don't remember any of them. Since the original Wizard of Oz did have some memorable songs, this film thought it would be good enough to have its own musical numbers. When in the World is an uninspiring opening that's trying to be somewhere over the rainbow, Candy Candy is a dumb rock song, China Princess is an opera expressing how the China Princess doesn't like the suitors, Jester is the generic villain song about him wanting power, Work With Me is a cheesy pop number where Dorothy and her new friends build a boat, and even then is the closest decent song where everybody feels better before getting ready to confront the Jester. All these songs did come in at the last minute with no warning that Legend of Oz is a musical, filled with modern music genres like pop and rock, which does not match The Wizard of Oz. Okay, there was the Wiz musical, but these Legend of Oz songs do not match. It may be an Oz movie or a sequel, but it's in no way a great and powerful one. Legends of Oz: Dorothy's Return is the exact opposite of the classic Wizard of Oz book and movie. Instead of being a whimsical and enchanting fantasy adventure with wonderful characters, it's a generic film with inconsistent tone and continuity, unmemorable and sometimes unlikable characters, uninspiring animation, and forgettable songs. If you're looking for a recent Oz adaptation, then whatever you do, do not watch this film. It's better to stick with the original Oz movie. However, I do recommend you go see Return to Oz if you're looking for a good Oz sequel. It's more consistent, the visuals are beautiful, and even some of the characters, both old and new, are likable. As for Legends of Oz, it's a failure as a standalone Oz sequel, a failure as an animated franchise, and it's a disaster enough for summertime entertainment as a whole. I'm giving part 1 of the Legend of Oz franchise a D, and has a bit of a little fire from the flames of failure. I'm Mad Hatter Patrick. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to catch a flying monkey with a butterfly net. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe me for a new review and other project every week. I'll see you soon.